Tonight on CBC Vancouver News.
Pilot hasn't delivered the results that we hoped for.
BC is ending its drug decriminalization experiment 3 years after it began.
This is a failed experiment.
I think all levels of government and politicians failed it.
Plus, police identify a local businessman as the victim of a deadly shooting on a busy street in Surrey. And hurricane hunters are flying straight into West Coast atmospheric rivers to better understand climate change.
This is CBC Vancouver News.
Hello, I'm Dan Burritt. Thanks for joining us. 3 years after it was launched, the province says it will now end its drug decriminalization project. It was part of a push to try to save more lives amid the grinding toxic drug crisis. Critics call it a failure. But as Katie DeRosa explains, harm reduction advocates argue it wasn't given the chance to succeed.
The pilot hasn't delivered the results that we hoped for.
The government is pulling the plug on its experiment to decriminalize simple possession of hard drugs. BC's health minister says the province did not see an increase in referrals to addictions treatment, one of the benchmarks for success. The pilot project started in January 2023 after Health Canada granted the province an exemption to federal drug laws. It was part of the response to BC's toxic drug crisis, which has killed thousands of people since a public health emergency was declared in 2016. BC became the first in Canada to try decriminalization, and it proved controversial. Some local mayors blamed it for a rise in open drug use and social disorder in parks and playgrounds. One independent MLA and former police officer says decriminalization in BC effectively died in 2024 when public safety concerns led Premier David Eby to recriminalize drugs in all public spaces.
Police are not gaining any new power.
Police will continue to have discretion over drug arrests. Vancouver police were already not arresting for simple possession. Its deputy chief says that will continue.
Definitely, we're not going back to arresting for regular simple possession unless, like I said, extenuating circumstances.
One harm reduction advocate, though, says the project wasn't given enough time to succeed.
I don't think decriminalization failed. I think all levels of government and politicians failed it.
Still, the official opposition critic for addictions says the NDP government has not made any meaningful efforts to fill in gaps in addictions care.
It's great that they are finally recognizing that this is a failed experiment.
Josie Osborne rejects that claim, saying the government is boosting the number of treatment beds, and its goal continues to be treating drug addiction through the health system rather than the courts. Katie DeRosa, CBC News, Victoria.
BC's police watchdog has been called in after Mounties in Burnaby shot and killed a woman on Tuesday night. The RCMP says it responded to a report of a woman in distress in a home near Oxford Street and North Gilmore Avenue. Officers approached the woman, who reportedly had weapons. Then, during what they called an interaction, police shot her. Mounties gave her medical aid until paramedics arrived, but she died at the scene. The Independent Investigations Office is asking for any witnesses to contact it. Homicide investigators have now identified the victim of a shooting in Surrey. They say 46-year-old Baljinder Singh Garcha was found on the side of a busy road on Tuesday afternoon. As Amelia John explains, it's one of 3 cases the homicide team has been called to in the past week.
It's been a busy start to 2026 for homicide investigators in the Lower Mainland. On Tuesday, Surrey police were called to the 3500 block of 176th Street, where they found 46-year-old Binder Singh Garcha with gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
Surrey Police Services also received reports of a vehicle fire in the area of 18900 block of 40th Street in Surrey. Investigators at this stage believe this to be related to the ongoing homicide of Mr. Garcha.
Investigators aren't saying whether the case is extortion related, but have ruled out gang activity.
We are in the early stages of this investigation. However, based on the initial steps investigators have taken, we do not believe this to be related to the BC gang conflict.
CBC News went to Garcha's home, where friends, family, and co-workers have gathered to mourn. No one would appear on camera, but told us he was a successful businessman who ran a wedding videography business as well as a banquet hall. Surrey police have referred all questions to IHIT. And while no motive is known at this point, they have confirmed they've opened 16 new extortion files since the start of January.
The issue is being worked on by multiple parties at multiple levels. And so we understand that it is concerning for the community. This is an issue that obviously impacts not only the victims, but the broader community.
2 other homicides over the past week have been linked to gangs. On Monday, 27-year-old Naseem Mohammed was found dead in a house fire on 56th Avenue near 127th Street in Surrey. And on Friday, 28-year-old Navpreet Dhaliwal was shot in the 3200 block of Siskin Drive in Abbotsford. Anyone with information on any of the homicides is asked to call police. Amelia John, CBC News, Surrey.
A business professor has been identified as the victim of a homicide in Saanich earlier this month. 41-year-old Laura Gover was a mother to 2 young daughters and taught at Vancouver Island University as well as Camosun College. Saanich police say Mohammed Bassar is charged with second-degree murder. A longtime friend identified him as Gover's ex-husband. The case has been designated a K file in the BC courts, which is used to indicate alleged cases of intimate partner violence. Bassar is set to appear again in court on January 21st. If you use the Canada line to get around, you will know it was a frustrating day of delays. TransLink says a power issue caused a shutdown between Marine Drive and Langara 49th Avenue stations. The closure hit during the busy morning commute. Passengers were able to transfer to a bus bridge along Cambie Street.
My shift starts in 10 minutes.
At least I have a little bit of relaxation. I can kind of just be calm, whereas some people are rushing.
It is what it is, I guess.
It was only about 15-20 minutes late instead of like some people, I'm sure it ended up being like 30 minutes, an hour.
It's not yet clear what caused the power issue. TransLink says electrical cables needed to be replaced before service could be restored. Still with transit, UBC's student union marked 18 years since Premier Gordon Campbell's government promised a SkyTrain extension to the Point Grey campus. They're calling it the wished-for SkyTrain's birthday.
Happy birthday, UBC SkyTrain. Happy birthday to you.
Despite the cake and the singing, this was not a celebration. Students renewed calls for the province to release a timeline for planning, construction, and completion of a SkyTrain extension, and to include that in the next provincial budget. The Broadway extension being built right now currently ends at Arbutus Street, almost 7 kilometers away from campus. Meanwhile, TransLink is seeking public feedback on 2 proposed rapid bus routes. Take a look. One would travel along King George Boulevard between Surrey Central Station and Semiahmoo Town Centre in the south side of the city. The other would link Langley Township and Maple Ridge. TransLink CEO says both routes will help meet the growing demand for service.
On the King George Boulevard corridor, we're just seeing tremendous ridership growth. You know, ridership growth in Surrey has exceeded everywhere else in the region. And so in order to handle those types of passenger loads, we need a type of bus service that is coming more frequently.
The public consultation process for the BRT project will run until February 8th. Darius Madavi now with the BC-wide weather forecast. The first glance, if we look out the windows, it's hazy. It's foggy.
A little bit.
Again.
Misty. Yeah.
That's a good word for it. There you go.
Going to continue into tomorrow. We're going to continue to see that mist, that dense fog, especially inland. This morning, the low cloud that we saw kind of suppressed fog formation right on the coast of Metro Vancouver, but a lot of it inland. Abbotsford today, I was looking at some of the traffic cameras there. Very dense fog. Now, let's take a look at what we're looking at in terms of the atmospheric moisture, which continues to move up into up and off the coast, fortunately. So that heavy rain that the north and central coast we're getting is over now. A little bit of a weak impulse of moisture coming in with a cold front, but not really anything to note in terms of precipitation. Maybe a drizzle in parts of the island, maybe the lower mainland tomorrow morning. That ridge of high pressure continues to build in, meaning freezing levels remain very high across the coast and will continue to be for the next week or so, but they will start to drop inland. Dan?
Okay. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened action if Iran kills or executes protesters. From images emerging from that country itself, Margaret Evans shows us there is little sign the lethal crackdown has ended or that the regime is backing down.
This is the send-off Iran's leadership has arranged for security forces said to have been killed in the recent demonstrations. Protests blamed by Iran on what it calls outside agitators and terrorists. Mourners in the crowd believe their government when it says Iran's recent troubles have been sent from abroad. People who shoot others from their own country are not one of us, says this young woman, suggesting they're U.S. or Israeli agents who deserve capital punishment. The mass funerals are an opportunity for the regime to get its supporters out on the streets in a show of force, says this analyst.
Basically showing to the world that it is in a strong position, that it's not sort of ripe for the picking.
U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly warned Iran that he'll intervene if protesters are harmed. Washington has ordered U.S. citizens in Iran to leave and pulled some U.S. troops out of military bases within striking distance of any Iranian retaliation.
Hello, everybody.
But at a press conference, Trump appeared to be walking back some of his earlier comments.
We have been informed by very important sources on the other side, and they've said the killing has stopped and the executions won't take place.
Another funeral, this of a teenage protester, the crowd chanting death to Khamenei, Iran's supreme ruler. NGOs say the number of protesters confirmed killed is already over 3,000. Mahmoud Amiri Moghadam says the number will climb.
Right now, a major concern is the possibility of hasty executions of those who are arrested.
The Chief Justice of Iran's Supreme Court has appeared on state television, apparently interrogating a suspect. He's called for speedy trials and punishment, saying otherwise they'll lose impact. Margaret Evans, CBC News, London.
Here in Metro Vancouver, dozens of Iranian Canadians rallied outside the U.S. consulate on Tuesday night. And as Jana Bailon explains, many are pleading for more action from the international community.
Mr. Carney, please stand beside Iranian people.
Iranian Canadians pleading for more of the world to listen.
I understand this might take some time for the logistics and everything, but those people in Iran, they are waiting for that help desperately.
Many fear for loved ones back home, most of whom they haven't heard from.
I haven't heard any news from my family, so I'm really worried about that. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know if I was still alive or dead.
Nationwide demonstrations in Iran began late December over the soaring cost of living. It's since grown into anti-government protests against the country's supreme leader, with the government cracking down, cutting off all communications last week.
People here around the world, Iranians and inside Iran, they are shouting out this regime does not have legitimacy.
Crackdown has turned deadly. U.S.-based human rights activists news agency put the death toll at over 2,000, but many fear the number is much higher.
We ask the world immediate action. People is killing, and we don't know who is alive. We don't have any connection with our people.
On Tuesday, U.S. President Donald Trump urged Iranians to keep protesting and said help was on the way, though he gave no details. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Mark Carney said Canada condemns the killing of protesters and that the country stands in solidarity with Iranians.
Justice for Iran! Justice for Iran!
Many here hope those pledges come with action.
I'm not feeling not good. I cannot eat properly. I cannot sleep how I can. My people is dying.
Jana Bailon, CBC News, Vancouver.
Atmospheric rivers are a way of life here on the West Coast, but how are they being affected by climate change? After the break, we fly into how planes are being used to learn more about them. You'll want to see this. An overpass in Surrey has been damaged after a truck struck it early in the morning. BC's Highway Patrol says a commercial truck hit the overpass eastbound at 192nd Street just before 9:30 in the morning. Crews from the BC Transportation Ministry have been checking the structural integrity of the overpass. The patrol service says the truck that caused the damage was towing an overheight excavator on a flat deck trailer.
Anytime you have an overpass strike, there's obviously something that went wrong with following the regulations. The CVSE officers and the Ministry of Transportation are following up with the company, with the driver, to see what went wrong. Obviously, this shouldn't happen.
The Highway Patrol shut down one lane of traffic for several hours while crews repaired and assessed that structure's integrity. Atmospheric rivers and ensuing floods are intensifying with climate change. For the past decade, hurricane hunter planes used to study cyclones have been flying straight into the West Coast rainmakers. The CBC's Johanna Wagstaff looks at how the evidence they gather is steering the course of meteorology.
This rain, all of this exact rain falling here in Vancouver, we're getting more information about these kinds of soakers than ever before with hurricane hunters. What was once reserved for the biggest and baddest storms on Earth is now being used on atmospheric rivers like this one. And it's changing how well we can forecast extreme rain, flooding, and landslides, sometimes days earlier, in a way that's never been done before. I'll explain. For over 80 years, scientists have been flying specially outfitted aircraft, essentially flying laboratories, straight into the eye of hurricanes, built to handle the toughest conditions, collecting data that satellites can't. These planes are piloted by some of the most experienced aviators in the world, crews from the U.S. Air Force Weather Reconnaissance Squadron, famously nicknamed the Hurricane Hunters. Their reputation, legendary among meteorologists. But these planes aren't just chasing hurricanes anymore. They're now flying into massive rain-producing storms called atmospheric rivers, like this one, drenching Vancouver.
They have their hurricane mission throughout the summer and fall, but during the winter, we have atmospheric rivers across the Pacific, of course, and they can be really helpful for those.
Atmospheric rivers deliver most of the West Coast rain and snow in a year, but they're also behind our biggest floods, landslides, and thanks to climate change, some of our hardest to predict weather. And that's exactly why scientists are chasing them out at sea. As the planes fly through the storm, they release instruments called dropsondes, weather scanners that fall through the atmosphere, measuring temperature, pressure, wind, and how much water vapor the storm is carrying, like taking an MRI of the storm itself. By measuring these storms offshore, forecasters can better predict how strong they'll be, where they'll hit, and how much rain and snow they'll unload. And that means earlier warnings, better flood preparation, and smarter decisions before the rain starts.
In the western U.S., for some cases, we can see up to a 20% improvement in that forecast. And then overall, in some seasons, we see up to like a 10% improvement in those same regions. And that's a pretty huge improvement over just a year period. I think 10% relates to like how much a model might improve over a 10-year period.
And these river hunters, okay, that nickname hasn't stuck yet, will soon be deployed everywhere. This winter, the reconnaissance program is going global. Flights are expanding into the Atlantic with more ocean buoys and international partners feeding into the weather models. The goal is to extend reliable forecasts beyond that 1-week limit. So more time to prepare for atmospheric rivers that are becoming more intense in a warming world.
Johanna Wagstaff reporting. 3 seaside museums here in Vancouver are offering pay-what-you-can admissions on the first day of each month. The Vancouver Maritime Museum, Museum of Vancouver, and the H.R. MacMillan Space Centre, the Planetarium, are the 3 sites participating in the initiative as of February 1st. The museums say by removing financial barriers, they hope to welcome more visitors to enjoy their exhibitions and all the programs they offer. There's the sun setting in Osoyoos earlier in the day, and there's more of that sunshine to come. Darius will have your BC-wide weather picture and a sunny stretch coming up.
I think it's important to give a human face to the stories that we hear every day, the people that they affect. And I think talking to those people is what really gives us the true sense of the impact of the stories that we're hearing.
In Quebec, Premier François Legault has announced he is stepping down. The surprise announcement comes amid tanking approval ratings for his party. Sarah Levitt shows us the highs and lows of his time in office and how his departure sets up the fall election.
After winning 2 resounding election majorities, the end for François Legault came suddenly.
Je vois bien qu'actuellement, beaucoup de Québécois souhaitent d'abord du changement.
I see that Quebecers want change, the Premier said, announcing his resignation as leader of the Coalition Avenir Québec. It follows increasingly abysmal approval ratings. According to a Palace data poll, 75% of respondents say they have an unfavorable impression of Legault.
He could walk on water and people would shrug. And so after 8 years in power, after 2 mandates, generally in Quebec, Quebec voters want change.
Legault, a businessman turned politician, formed the CAQ in 2011, a middle ground, he said, between the Federalist Liberals and the separatist Parti Québécois. His government's legislation strengthening the French language and secularism was widely supported by Quebecers. During the pandemic, his approval ratings soared, the highest of all premiers in Canada. But it didn't last. Decisions like the one to pour hundreds of millions of public money into an electric battery plant with Swedish manufacturer Northvolt backfired when the company folded. Bitter fights with unions led to widespread strikes in the education, health, and social service sectors.
Things started to unravel, communication problems, flip-flops, problems with some scandals. So the personal popularity of François Legault declined over time quite steadily.
The problems were internal as well. Since 2022, 11 CAQ elected officials have resigned, including his confidant and longtime health minister Christian Dubé in December. In the Montreal area, people aren't surprised by Legault's resignation.
It's probably time he did that. It wasn't working anymore.
He just copied Justin Trudeau. That's my first reaction, and then it was like, okay, so where are we going from here?
Sarah Levitt reporting. Mark Carney has arrived in China, kicking off a critically important trade mission. It's been years of diplomatic tensions with Beijing. Now the Prime Minister and a team of Canadian officials are hoping to revive Canada's relationship with that country as our trade war with the U.S. grinds on. The CBC's Ashley Burke is traveling with the Canadian delegation.
Mark Carney is here in Beijing, marking the first time that a Canadian Prime Minister has stepped foot in China in nearly a decade on an official visit. Both Beijing and Ottawa are trying to reset relations. Carney was met at the airport by Chinese officials, by Canada's ambassador to China. We also saw some Canadian flags hanging in the streets here. Now, this visit comes less than a year after Carney said that he believes the biggest threat to Canada's security is China. A public inquiry also concluded and warned that China is the most active perpetrator of foreign interference in Canada. Now, the Foreign Affairs Minister, Anita Anand, is here. She is traveling with the Prime Minister and is part of the delegation. She was asked if she still believes that China is a global disruptive power.
This is a new government with a new Prime Minister, a new foreign policy, and a new geopolitical environment. In this moment of economic stress for our country, it is necessary for us to diversify our trading partners and to grow non-U.S. trade by at least 50% over the next 10 years.
Part of the government's plan to diversify trade is to try and export more petroleum and liquefied natural gas to markets in Asia, including China. We are told that's something that is going to be discussed here during Carney's 2 days of talks. He'll be speaking to China's president and a series of other officials while here. The government is also facing pressure to get some sort of relief for Canada's agriculture sector, which is being hit by Chinese tariffs, including canola products. A Canadian official says that they are hoping to make progress, that there are active conversations, but they don't believe that during this visit they can get complete elimination of those tariffs. Carney's meetings start on Thursday. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Beijing.
Top officials from Denmark and Greenland met today with members of the Trump administration and admit a fundamental disagreement remains over the fate of the Arctic island. As Chris Reyes explains, they also pushed back against some of the American president's claims about security issues there.
I think that it's never been so important to initiate that we are allies, we are friends.
Danish and Greenland foreign ministers came out of a high-stakes meeting with Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, saying they agreed to keep on talking with their U.S. counterparts. The meeting was requested by Denmark amidst growing tensions, fueled by a series of statements from President Trump calling for the U.S. to acquire Greenland. In a post this morning, Trump said, NATO becomes far more formidable and effective with Greenland in the hands of the United States. Anything less than that is unacceptable. After the meeting, Trump said this.
We have a very good relationship with Denmark, as you know, we'll see. But, we're doing the Golden Dome, we're doing a lot of things, and we really need it. If we don't go in, Russia's going to go in, and China's going to go in. And there's not a thing that Denmark can do about it, but we can do everything about it.
Denmark and Greenland have increased military presence around the island, with reinforcements from Sweden, Norway, and Germany. The president's comments have raised anxieties among the citizens of the self-governing autonomous region.
It's very tough, I think, that you cannot just, annex your country, and you cannot buy us. It's our country. It's our identity, and so we will ever stay as Greenlanders.
Ahead of the meeting, Greenland's leaders said they want to remain a part of Denmark, a position they reiterated following the talks.
The Premier made it very, very clear yesterday that Greenland, for the time being and for foreseeable future, will remain within the Kingdom of Denmark. And therefore, this is a common position that we want to work with our American friends and allies, but it must be respectful cooperation, and it must respect the red lines.
Trump has repeatedly said that acquiring Greenland is a matter of national security. On that front, the Denmark and Greenland ministers acknowledged Trump's concerns.
The President has made his view clear, and we have a different position. We, the Kingdom of Denmark, continue to believe that also the long-term security of Greenland can be ensured inside the current framework, the 1951 agreement on the defense of Greenland, as well as the NATO treaty.
According to the foreign ministers of Denmark and Greenland, a high-level working group will be assembled in the weeks ahead to keep the dialogue with the U.S. open. Chris Reyes, CBC News, New York.
Washington Special Envoy Steve Witkoff announced a new Palestinian body to oversee Gaza, launching phase 2 of the administration's peace plan. The 15-member National Committee for the Administration of Gaza will be headed by a former top official with the Palestinian Authority. Phase 2 involves demilitarizing and rebuilding Gaza, but hinges on Hamas agreeing to disarm, which it has refused to do. Phase 1 ceasefire has seen months of Israeli airstrikes that have killed hundreds of Palestinians. Officials say at least 32 people are dead and 66 others have been hurt in Thailand after a crane fell onto a passenger train. It happened about 230 kilometers northeast of Bangkok. The crane was working on a high-speed rail project when it collapsed onto 2 of the train's carriages. That caused it to jump the tracks and catch fire. Video shows multiple train cars crushed and tipped on their sides, as you can see, as crews work to clear the wreckage. Officials say the cause is not yet clear. Health Canada has issued new guidelines about the amount of vitamin D that must be added to some foods. Jennifer LaGrassa now on the reason behind the change.
You can't taste it, but there's something different about your milk. It now has extra vitamin D. Health Canada says 1 in 5 Canadians aren't getting enough.
The reality is we live in Canada. We don't make vitamin D from the sun, 6 to 8 months of the year.
And you're likely not getting enough from your diet either. But vitamin D is essential, say experts.
Its primary use is
really helping us to absorb calcium into our bones to make, strong, healthy bones and teeth.
For decades, milk producers have been mandated to add vitamin D to milk and some other products. As of December 31st, Health Canada roughly doubled the amount for milk, goat's milk, and margarine. Yogurt and plant-based drinks are also allowed to include vitamin D, but it's not mandatory.
I take D drops, and I don't buy food with added D, just because I feel like I get it in food and I get it in my supplement.
In the winter, of course, you can't really rely on the sun, and so I take vitamin D every day.
For children and adults, Health Canada recommends between 10 to 15 micrograms a day of vitamin D. That number is higher for people who are older. While taking a supplement helps, experts say here's how else to meet the target.
You should take around 4 to 5 dairy products a day. So that means 2 to 3 glasses of milk plus some yogurt or a portion of cheese.
But experts caution you shouldn't have more than 100 micrograms, equivalent to 20 cups of milk per day or multiple vitamin D pills.
Vitamin D intoxication is very, very rare.
Health Canada says that if you don't consume products with vitamin D on a daily basis, you should be taking a supplement. Jennifer Lagrassa, CBC News, Toronto.
Luxury American retail conglomerate Saks Global has now filed for bankruptcy protection. The company owns well-known stores like Saks Fifth Avenue and Bergdorf Goodman. Nearly a year ago, it bought rival Neiman Marcus, but major debt hurt the business. Stores worldwide are expected to stay open for now. Canadian franchises under Hudson's Bay closed last year. Research on the wolf call in Canada takes a new angle, looking inside the animal, literally, to understand diet, genetics, and even parasites, and monitor the impact on caribou populations. That story is next. Scientists from several leading climate research groups have just released their analysis of 2025 heat data. They say the average global temperature was lower than 2024, but as Jill English explains, that is not a sign of the effects of climate change are easing.
Copernicus Climate Change Service and Berkeley Earth, among others, found last year was the third warmest on record. But as you can see with this graph from Copernicus, 2025 still maps a concerning trajectory. The last 3 years all sit around 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels, which is the baseline used to track human impacts on temperature. Researchers are now consistently able to link specific heat events to human-caused emissions. And those involved with today's heat reports say the findings still indicate a rapidly warming climate, even if the year isn't breaking an overall record.
So we don't expect that every year will be warmer than the preceding one because of that natural variability. But what we do expect is in a warmer climate, we'll continue to see weather extremes that will increase in their frequency and intensity.
And while these big data sets are critical for understanding global trends, it's important to remember regional extremes are still being felt. The UK, for example, recorded its hottest year on record, and much of Europe broke summer temperature records. That continent is actually the fastest warming region on Earth, along with the Arctic. Central Asia, Western Africa, Nordic countries also soared past various seasonal records, at times hitting temperatures 10 degrees above average in heat waves directly linked to climate change. Climate analysis group World Weather Attribution reported that heat waves were the world's deadliest form of extreme weather in 2025, but there are other implications too. Trade, for example, a heat wave in Germany this summer lowered water levels and interrupted shipping in the Rhine, and agriculture has been hit in significant ways around the world as well. As this 2025 data is released, 2026 is already showing concerning temperatures. Just last week, southern Australia hit temperatures in the mid-40s, fueling bushfires. Jill English, CBC News, Toronto.
The weather update is brought to you by the BC Cancer Foundation. The future of cancer care can be your legacy. Fuel innovation and life-saving treatments by leaving a gift in your will today.
Darius Madavi here with our BC-wide weather forecast, talking about the fog. It is nice to see in some ways, not always easy to drive. We have to be careful. I do love hearing a foghorn, though.
You know what? I'm with you. I'm with you there. As somebody who doesn't drive very often, I do love a fog-coover day. Unfortunately, we're not really getting into the thick of it. We do have some fog advisories in place for much of southwest BC along the Strait of Georgia, so that covers a lot of Metro Vancouver, places like Nanaimo, parts of the South Island. So be on the lookout for that as we head into tomorrow. So that's very dense fog in a lot of these areas tonight and tomorrow. Already seeing that build in some places. As we head into tomorrow, much like this morning, if anything, maybe even a little bit heavier, some of that fog. We saw it very heavily inland this morning, very dense, but even by the water now, it looks like that could be the case tomorrow for Metro Vancouver. This is satellite imagery from earlier today, and you can see a lot of that really dense fog, especially in parts of the Fraser Valley. So those yellow fog advisories likely to remain in place into tomorrow. Yellow meaning not a crazy amount of impact expected, but still disruptive. And then again, this is the forecast now, the forecast cloud, and you can see it clearing out pretty quickly once we get into the afternoon. But in the meantime, still some very dense fog or low cloud going to be expected along the Salish Sea. Now, ridge of high pressure is building in over the province, or has built in and will continue to strengthen. Here on the coast, freezing levels are going to remain high. That inversion very much in effect, so cooler at lower elevations and warmer at higher ones. So the freezing level up around 3,000, 4,000 meters, well above the peak of even Whistler, which means a lot of snowmelt is likely. Not the best skiing, snowboarding conditions are on the way. But as we see here, at least no rain coming in. So there won't be rain on snow, which would make that much worse, really exacerbate the problem, but something to be on the lookout for sure. In the interior, temperatures are going to start to fall again. So that means we are going to see the very much above normal temperatures that have set daily temperature records, especially in parts of the interior. They're going to start to fall once again, back down closer to seasonal very quickly in the northeast, more slowly in other places. Here on the coast, though, we remain well above normal, and we will continue to see that, except when we're under that fog. Then we might not get quite as warm. Avalanche danger has been improving across most of BC, especially in the south. So most areas now at low avalanche danger, which is good. Some of that snowpack stabilizing. Here are our conditions for tomorrow. Lots of sunshine, some places with a bit of cloud in the morning, clearing out in the afternoon. But again, we have to get through that fog here in Metro Vancouver. Very dense, maybe some low cloud closer to the water rather than fog. And then similar situation, but much patchier Friday and Saturday. But lots of sunshine, Dan.
Indeed, we'll take it. Thank you, Darius.
Thank you.
The BC government is thinking about restarting the caribou hunt in some parts of this province. But a collaboration between Indigenous communities, government, and academic partners is taking another look at the impact of the wolf cull on those caribou populations. The so-called DIGA project is headed up by UNBC Associate Professor Jamie Gorell in Prince George. Jamie, thanks for being here. First of all, why are you doing this study?
Yeah, thanks for having me. So this project really stems from a long list of collaborators who've been involved in collecting samples over time. We've been collecting carcasses for about 15 years so that we could build a collection and enough data and samples to then answer the question is what happens to wolf populations during a wolf control?
And so who's involved and how do you collect the wolf carcasses here?
Yeah, so this is a really big team of lots of different people. We've got different professors from different universities, University of Northern British Columbia, where I am, University of Saskatchewan, biologists from Government of Northwest Territories, Government of Nunavut. But we're also working directly with Indigenous and resident hunters in the territories. And they're the ones who are going out onto the land and actually harvesting the wolves as part of a government-sponsored incentive program.
And so what do the wolf carcasses, the tissue, and what you find in them tell you about how they hunt, who they, what they hunt, etc.?
Yeah, so when the carcasses come into the government offices, there's a whole suite of measurements that we take. We measure as many things from the body as we can, but we also take different samples from all over the body as we can. And then we can actually do a chemical analysis of those muscle samples to determine the source of the nutrients. So imagine that you are what you eat. When you eat food, you assimilate those nutrients to make your own tissues. We can track on the chemical level where those nutrients came from and actually identify what species of animals the wolves have been eating.
And how can your findings in, I understand, Northern Territory wolf populations be applied perhaps elsewhere in Canada and BC?
Well, there are different ecosystems and there are obviously different prey communities, but how we potentially manage wolves in the north could be potentially improved by more information. And while there are different wolf control programs happening throughout Canada, different provinces, different territories, the one thing is remaining certain is that very few people are ever looking at the impact on the wolves themselves. We're normally focused on the ungulates. So this project is one of the first to actually look at what happens to wolves during these programs, and then that will still help us understand better what is happening in other provinces or other regions.
And lastly, we appreciate your time. What will be either a measure of success or what do you hope really comes out of this project?
Well, one of the big successes so far is that this project was really born in the community with lots of elders and Indigenous knowledge holders, So we have been able to incorporate their understanding of wolf ecology and combine that with sort of traditional Western science and sort of New Age academic science research to try and put these ideas together and then have different ways of measuring how wolves are responding to the environment. And then ultimately, can that knowledge go back into that local community to help them manage the ecosystem better?
It's fascinating work. Jamie Gorell heads up the DIGA project and is an associate professor at UNBC's Ecosystem Science and Management Department. We really appreciate your time and expertise. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Dan.
A local indie pop band is celebrating 3 decades of their acclaimed sophomore album. Coming up, we found out how they got together. Stick around.
Hi, I'm Amy Bell, and this is your CBC Inbox.
On February 11th, CBC's Stephen Quinn moderates the alumni UBC webinar, Think Well, Live Well, Brain Health for Life. Join the conversation for expert insight into protecting your brain health and vitality. Register at alumni.ubc.ca and never miss a special programming series, event, or contest. Subscribe to CBC's e-newsletter and keep connected with us.
On January 15th, 1995, the indie rock trio Cub released their album Come On, Come On. Now they're celebrating a 30th anniversary edition of their sophomore release with a party.
The CBC's Lisa Christensen sat down with the group to talk about the upcoming party and how the band got together all those years ago.
I'm Lisa G, and I was the drummer of Cub, wannabe stand-up comedian.
I'm Lisa Marr. I was also in Cub. I was the bass player, and I wrote and sang some of the songs.
Have you seen this yet?
It's new to us.
Okay, do you want to take some plastic off and have a look?
Please open it.
So here it is, the beautiful cover. You will recognize this from the 90s. It's old but new, like us, old but new.
What does it feel like seeing that now?
I'm pretty excited. I mean, it takes a long time to do these projects. We've been working on this for over a year.
Do you feel quite nostalgic about that time? Nostalgia can be a good thing. It can also be a really limiting bad thing.
Well, I think it's fun to go through it for sure. Like for the show that we're going to do, we're making it karaoke. So I have been unearthing, and Lisa as well, some tour archives of high 8 video that I used to take to quell the boredom of being on the road.
Are you ready? Okay, let's play. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Origin stories about the band and how they started. Are they all true? Were you co-opted by Nardwuar to play? Is that how things started?
Well, I wouldn't say co-opted. I begged. It was me. It wasn't Nardwuar was not begging me. I was begging Nardwuar, as many people do nowadays. And he said, "Yeah, you can join. You have 5 days. You need to learn how to play bass. You need to learn how to play 10 songs, and most importantly, you need to get a really cool outfit."
And when you started playing drums, were you a drummer right at the beginning, or how did that happen? No,
not really. I had visions of being in a band, but mostly what I did was I posed in front of the mirror and listened to Transvision Vamp with a guitar. I didn't practice, and then I bought a drum kit because I thought, oh, that would be maybe an easier instrument to do. And then Lisa invited me to be a tour drummer, and then I had to learn basically on the road.
You learned on the road?
I learned a little bit. We practiced in your basement, and so I was listening to my little cassette Walkman and learned the songs on the bus to your house, and then I did my best, but touring was really where I think I learned the most.
You learned bass in 5 days and drums on the road? Respect.
That's crazy.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
And of course, Nardwuar making things happen, right? That's what he does.
Thanks for being with us tonight on CBC Vancouver News at 6. You can watch this newscast on CBC Gem, YouTube, and our website, cbc.ca/BC.
And we will have your next local news at 11 o'clock, right after the National. Good night.